how to start speaking Georgian even if you know only few words. And what about when you try to speak Georgian and Georgians answer you in English or in Russian? So about this we will talk in today's episode of the Georgian for Beginners series. Hello, my name is Asha. I'm Georgian language teacher. I'm author of Georgian study books, and also I founded the publishing house and language school Języki Kaukazu, Languages of the Caucasus, where we teach you Georgian and we teach you about Georgia as well. And this is the Georgian for Beginners series on our YouTube channel, and where we tell you about Georgian language and you can learn Georgian with us here. And today's episode is a little bit unusual, so it means it is created also at your request, but we won't talk about Georgian grammar words as such, but we will tell you about how to start speaking Georgian. So, remember that you can also find each and every episode from this series on our website on języknikaukazu.pl, and there you will find the whole text version of it. Okay, so let's start maybe with the first question. So how to learn Georgian so that you can actually communicate? So, yes. This is one of the questions that we get, and this is one of the ways how to start speaking Georgian right now. So you learn Georgian, you go to classes, or you maybe learn on your own, and with, for example, our self-study book, and you devote your time and energy to learning, and then the moment comes that you try to speak and want to talk to a Georgian person in Georgian. So you say a learned sentence, something that you have practiced, you feel joy and pride in what you just did, and you don't understand the answer that you got. Exactly, because one of the common mistakes when learning Georgian is learning the phrases that you want to say, and questions that you want to ask, and the answers that you want to give, but not that responses that you may receive in return. So, for example, when you learn how to ask for a bill or ask how much something costs, you learn those phrases, but you don't very often learn what the answer might be, and you don't practice that. Then the result is, and the outcome, that you won't understand the answer. So the first way to speak and to learn how to speak Georgian is to learn both the questions and the answers as well. So, for example, the practicing entire dialogue. So one of the opinions that we hear very often about our study materials is that they actually teach you how to speak Georgian. And the reason for that is because you are not only learning how to say something, but you just learn also how to carry on a conversation from the beginning of your learning. And this is one of the ways how to do it. So, for example, if you learn a new phrase, then you learn the question also related to it. If you learn the phrase, for example, nice to meet you, you should also learn how to say likewise. Exactly. So, how to start speaking Georgian so that people will actually understand you? Yes. So let's go back to our scenario. You learn Georgian, you know the phrases, and you decide to speak Georgian to a Georgian person you meet, and they give you this look. Yes, exactly. They look at you with mixture of surprise and incomprehension. And they answer you in Russian or in English. Yes. And now your thought in your head is like, they didn't understand me. I said something incorrectly. Gosh. So, well, the answer is no. Probably you did everything good and you said everything perfectly almost. So there is a very high probability that you said everything correctly, but your interlocutor is simply not used to non-Georgians speaking Georgian. It also happens to me very often still when I speak Georgian and no one is really convinced I can carry on the conversation. Sometimes it really takes a while before I can convince my interlocutor that I actually can understand and bear the answer there. So what to do when Georgians answer you in Russian or in English. So start first of all by not getting discouraged. It doesn't mean really that your Georgian is not understandable and you're saying something incorrectly or so incorrect that it's impossible to understand you. And keep speaking in Georgian until of course you know the words and you're able to do that. And this can only mean that your interlocutor simply hasn't met yet any known Georgian who speaks Georgian and is not convinced that you will understand the answer. That is why they want to help you and answer in Russian or in English, simply. So say in Georgian that you're learning Georgian and that you speak some Georgian. It also helps because there is a good chance after that your interlocutor will be very pleased and will start asking you questions like why, how it happened, where are you from, and the conversation will get going. So it doesn't, if it doesn't really help those ways and those things to do, it is worth adding as well, for example, that you don't know Russian if you don't know Russian or you don't want to speak, or to say simply and frankly that you don't want to speak any other language because you are learning Georgian and you want to practice Georgian with them. And continue to say all of that in Georgian regardless of the language that is used in your interlocutor's response. This is what I do and this is what works for our students as well in Języki Kaukazu, languages of the Caucasus. And it is also worth preparing and practicing those sentences in advance so that you can use them freely in such situations which are more stressful, for example, than the classes. So what we do as well during our classes with you is that and during also self-paced courses, and you can follow that as well, this pattern in our study books, is that you learn also how to make such conversations, and you learn the pieces of the like pre-made sentences that you can already use in those situations. So simply put, if you want to start speaking Georgian in daily life situations, it is worth practicing in like test setting, test environment. So for example, during a Georgian lesson with us. So this is also one of the options. You have already like in the back of your head somewhere there prepared sentences like, for example, I speak Georgian a little bit. I learn Georgian. Please, let's talk in Georgian. Or like, speak slower, please. So those are and like small bio about yourself. Where are you from, etc. Those are those pieces of information that you can use in situations like that. Yes. Okay, so the third one for us today. So how to start speaking Georgian from the first day of learning, because I hope I have convinced you that what helps really is that to have prepared and to practice some of the whole conversations as well, and not to get discouraged and speak Georgian no matter what. So one of the secrets of speaking Georgian, and speaking it fluently, is to do it from the first lesson when you learn new phrases. It is already worth to start speaking Georgian. Yes. So let me give you an example from our Georgian curriculum. So the way how we teach our students during our classes and in our online courses. So you start learning Georgian. Let's say you start from the alphabet from the beginning and you learn your first words and then to be verb. Already with this, you can already create simple sentences and name the objects around you. For example, this is a computer. This is not a lamp. And you already overcome a potential language barrier that you may have from the very beginning, and it is a huge help in actually starting speaking Georgian. So even very simple sentences, but those are already sentences that you say in Georgian. So during the next lesson you will add and learn some new phrases. You can practice and you can expand, for example, your sentences by adding adjectives, saying this is a good computer, this is a bad lamp, and so on and so forth, and then combine it with the other question words, for example, like what is this, where is something, and when you learn, for example, where is something, let's learn as well what will be the answer for that. So what are the suffixes that they will use in their responses, etc., things like that. So you will have like small pieces of conversation you can actually use then in when you hear some responses. So even adding single Georgian words helps you really practice the language pronunciation and familiarizes you as well and the interlocutor, so the Georgians as well, with the fact that you know already some Georgian. So one of the ways is that if you don't know the whole sentence, you can say like half of it in Georgian, half of it in English or other language that you know and the interlocutor knows. It is already a good practice how to start really learning to speak Georgian and speaking Georgian. Okay, so those are our 3 ways. So now it is time for you. Yes, my dear friend who is learning Georgian, please choose 1 or 2 ways from what we just discussed and try to implement them in your everyday learning of Georgian language. So let us know in the comments, by the way, which forms and which ways you choose. So we can also cheer you up and have like fingers crossed for you and stuff like that. And maybe you have your own method, so let us know in the comments as well what helps you start speaking Georgian and situations like this. And remember that if you are looking for books for Georgian language or maybe online course or individual classes, check out the options how you can also learn Georgian with us, and you can go either to języknikaukazu.pl, to our website, or just go use the direct link that you will find in the description. In the description, the captions of today's episodes, in the show notes, you will find as well the direct link to the article on our website where you can read it through what I just shared with you, and you will find tons of other study materials on our blog, etc. Yes, so I hope those 3 ways will help you start speaking Georgian during your next trip, or maybe with the Georgians that you have in your surroundings. Fingers crossed for you. And remember that the best way how to start speaking Georgian is to start speaking Georgian. You can use one of the ways or all of them that I shared with you today. Thank you very much. If you like this series, remember to let us know by clicking that you like it and sharing maybe with some of your friends. And if you don't follow us here, and remember to subscribe also to our channel, so you will get lots of also other episodes like this. Thank you very much and see you in the next one. Bye bye.